Devin Haney, which probably was one of the most exciting fights of the year. Turns out there was something afoot. Ryan Garcia getting popped for PEDs yesterday. Give us your reaction to that news.
Well, Ryan Garcia says, oh, these are lies. My perception, very strongly held perception, is that Voluntary Anti-Doping Association doesn't lie. Voluntary Anti-Doping Association was set up for a serious purpose by serious people. They do serious testing with a scientific process. And at the moment, it appears to me that one way or another, Ryan Garcia was contaminated by a performance-enhancing drug. I don't think that he can credibly mount an argument that there was nothing in his system because, again, I don't believe Vada lies. So it's not flattering, and it takes a certain amount of glory and credit away from the spectacular win that he scored in the ring.
And those are the words of Jim Lampley, the former HBO commentator, classic for his work on HBO Sports in the boxing category, and his take on Ryan Garcia and his perception. He stated that Vada doesn't lie. You know, however it got in his system, he was contaminated with performance-enhancing drugs. And it does cripple his credibility. And let me counterpunch. You guys seen my live today. And my live was simple. It was about Ryan Garcia, and my first live, because I did a couple. And, you know, I talked about glitches and things that could go wrong and how sensitive machines are. But then I think the last line of defense for Ryan Garcia is to see what the B sample says. And if it says the same thing, you know, it's hard to, like Jim Lampley said, it's hard to debate. You know, where is your credibility from anything? What proof do you have that this wasn't the case? Now, God help him if it wasn't. If it was something and he claims it was some type of corruption on high, you know what I mean? But however it got in his system. The one thing, this is what I didn't like from Ryan, though. Don't call it or don't blame it on something like ashwagandha. Don't do that simply because, like, well, that's the only thing I can take. Well, I mean, you know, you need to at least list what you've done, not just, hey, it could have been this ayahuasca. Like, why would you go to that when you don't know if that was the reason? You see what I mean? That's just a cop-out to me. If you're going to say, oh, well, you know what? It had to be, I guess I shouldn't have took this ashwagandha then. Like, you know what I mean? Why are you throwing them under the bus like he tried to do? Because, you know, Garcia'S has released a statement on his behalf because of the statements that he made towards their product. Okay, because that was the brand that he claimed that he took. You know, what about other multivitamins? What about powder? What about supplements? What about, you know, whey protein? What about all these particular things that you could have done besides ashwagandha? Because if he's taking ashwagandha, chances are he's taking something else. No one just takes ashwagandha by itself. Nobody does that because he had to hear about that from someone else. So he had to be taking something else to hear about taking something else, like ashwagandha. You know what I mean? The reason why I know, because I'm that way. Because if I hear about something, I'm taking She Legit and I'm taking ashwagandha and I take Kachava daily. You know what I mean? But I mean, you had to start somewhere. So that's not the only thing that he's taking. But for him to just say, oh man, well, you know, that's what I get for taking this ashwagandha, that just sounds foul. That means you're looking for a scapegoat. Okay? And it doesn't look good for him. You know what I mean? And the last thing you want to hear from Ryan is to blame somebody else for something that he put in his body. It just don't fly. But like Jim Lampley, Vada don't lie.
Bars.
But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of legendary commentator Jim Lampley stating that Vada doesn't lie and it shreds his credibility as the win. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.